Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm starting off this video by sharing a new challenge blog site that I found. It's called FarmQuest, and they have some really interesting themes, and I'm just sort of plugging them at the beginning of my video since they inspired this card. So let's get to it. The challenge calls for cherries and a basket. So I took this black and white polka dot paper, digital paper from Polkadoodles, and I imported it into Cricut Design Space, pulled the image of these cherries and added it in print and cut, flattened, and then I had some fun cherry paper to use. I cut a frame. I have this little image from Connie Fong that I also put in my Cricut Design print and cut. Cut a couple of springs because I couldn't decide which I liked, and a couple of different baskets just in case my first technique didn't work. I'm pulling some close to my heart champagne ink. I'm going to ink around the edges on this sweet little focal image. I'm pointing out that last night when I was coloring it, I somehow got coffee on the edge of it. So that's why I'm using that color to go around it. Pulling my big embossing ink, and I'm just dabbing this little basket in it. I'm going to pull some Ranger. It's golden sparkle. It's really fun. It's enchanted gold, I think, and it sort of sparkles, but yet it's embossing powder. So I thought that would be fun to add just a little bit of sparkle to this card and bring out the basket. So I've put the embossing ink on. I'm shaking off the excess powder, and then I will put the excess powder here back into the jar. You can see that the sparkle sort of goes to the bottom there. So when I use this particular one, I usually shake it up just to make sure that I'm getting the sparkle as well. I'm using my Doris heat tool, and I'll just kind of heat that on, heat emboss. I'm holding it in place with a pair of tweezers. And you can see that it has real sparkle to it. It's really kind of fun. It's a nice way to add sparkle to a project and the sparkle won't come off. I've worked with some people who don't like using glitter because the glitter falls off. This is a great alternative. Now I'm going to just adhere my card front using a tape runner. And you see I run out, so I had to take a little break and refill my tape runner. Okay, now I'm just going to glue this frame together. I'm not even going to ink it. I'm going to keep it more of a simple look, and I will adhere it to the black. I cut this in Cricut Design Space using the offset feature. If you haven't used that yet, it's a lot of fun. You can create a lot of different things. I'm gluing this little basket to its backing with fabric tack. I almost could have gone with my Zig two-way glue pen, and I'm going to pull my Zig two-way here in just a minute for my little title, the little spring title. So you'll see what that is and how it works. My little gem lost its backing, so I just pulled a little, I forget if it might be Zot's little glue dot. All right, here's that Zig two-way pen. It gets those little pieces so easily. Like I said, I almost could have used that for the basket. All right, I set those aside in an ice cream lid just because I am notorious for losing pieces. They can be sitting right there on my desk and I can't find them. So I keep an ice cream lid there and I just keep all my pieces together there. Okay, now that you know a little bit more about me than you probably wanted to know, here I'm just simply lining everything up, seeing how I want it to lay. And I'm beginning to think that it might be fun to have some dimension. but I don't want so much dimension to use, you know, those tapes, dimensional tapes. Sometimes those are kind of thick. So what I decided to do was to get a cereal box out. And you're going to see me do that here in just a minute. And I cut some itty bitty little pieces. But first, I go ahead and I put this frame on. And the way I remembered where to put that is I just counted my rows of dots, and that reminded me where to put it then. Now I'm going to bring in my little focal image, again making sure I've got room for my basket. I wouldn't want to forget my basket since it's one of the challenge theme pieces. I'm going to go ahead and use fabric tack and just glue this straight down on top of my frame. Now once that's in place, I'm going to bring in my little basket, and here's where I start deciding, yes, I do want some dimension in this. So I'm just going to pull a little piece of cereal box and just cut that. That gives me just a little lift off the page. I decide that I also want to lift up the spring, and it actually has two little pieces of cereal box so that the first part of spring lays on top of the basket, and then the last 3 to 3.5 letters then have support underneath, and it keeps it all even. So I don't know if you can see the dimension there, but it definitely is raised up over the basket as well as way up over the little focal image. I wanted to bring a little red up into the corner, so a red satin bow I thought would do the trick, and kind of goes along with that little red bow in her hair. There's such a cute little country couple there. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those glue dots again. And yes, they are Zots. I can see that as I'm doing the voiceover. They are Zots glue dots. And I like those because they're so easy to use. You just simply lay down whatever it is you want to glue into place, touch it to the little glue dot, peel it off, and then adhere it to your project. Well, that sort of brings this card to a close. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this card for this new challenge blog, FarmQuest challenge blog. And I hope you'll go check them out. I just thought it was an interesting challenge blog, and I'm just kind of talking about it because I'd like to get more people interested so they stay around. Hey, have any questions or comments? Leave them below for me, and I'll leave you all the information you need for this card in the information box. Thanks for joining me today. See you in the next video. Bye.